once again to Conscripted, episode 54. We rejoin the party in the middle of a very, very dim yet colorful, very gold, very silvery, very leady? Is that a word? Room, giant anvil hanging in the backdrop, and piles of rubble in each corner. Why is the party there? And where did the piles of rubble come from?
Rubble is golems we just destroyed.
That came to life when someone decided to use a hammer on the anvil for some reason. They apparently don't like that.
What even is this anvil? What even is this room?
Fancy, magical anvil that apparently can forge weapons that can kill the gods or some crazy stuff. And this room is deep within the caves near that one town that I'm not going to remember the name of.
Catheros.
Catheros, there we go. But yeah, we are here with Tonelli and Clemens Andreessen, or whatever his name is.
Yep.
Andreessen.
Close enough.
And Arvos just did the magic to seal the area back off, with Tonelli being the person that is able to, control the barriers. That's what it's.
There's a gate in between, and the controller is actually set to Andreas, Mr. Andreas.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, because he's going to take us through the Oh damn it! I was going to say the spirit world, and I'm like, that's not what it is.
Well, sort of. It's the ethereal. It's the ethereal plane.
Yeah, we have a portal to the ethereal plane, which then they said they can guide us back from there where we need to go. And then wanted to know if we wanted to do some research on the forge before we leave, because we might not be able to come back, or if they should just bring in their other teams to come do research on the forge.
That is where we left off. Mal attempted to try his hand at the forge, and that caused the awakening of the golems. As we rejoin the party, Tonelli looks around at the surroundings. How is Ra doing at the moment, besides the stat damage?
Besides stat damage, I'm fairly healthy at this point. I'm only missing about 2 hit points, so I'm doing pretty good there. It's just mostly very weak at the moment compared to how I would usually feel.
Does anyone look... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still missing over 20 hit points.
Okay, but you look at more than half, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll kind of check everybody just to see where they're at. And then he'll turn to look at Maldronicus. And he'll take a few steps over to him. Mal, I need to know if you want to do this here or in private. There are some things we need to talk about with regard to that combat.
Whatever is better.
It's up to you. I don't know how well you do with being talked down to.
You can talk me down. I don't mind.
Where was your activity in this combat? What happened? As a leader, I expect that you would be there with your team, helping to protect them, helping to keep them out of danger.
The magical energies in this place are very unpredictable. I've tried to cast through these things before, and it hasn't worked very well. In this case, it's particularly unreliable. Why would I risk the party casting magics when we could handle it without that?
Sure, the party could handle it without magic, but Are you not a skilled warrior? Do you not brandish a blade and have great power over martiality? I'm a bit confused at that. You not being able to use magic is not an excuse for you not being able to fight alongside your comrades.
I can, but if I'm just getting in the way, it's not very, I guess, tactical, but I don't know. I suppose I could swing at it, but why would I do that when we could handle it safely?
And you consider the near death of your teammate to be safely?
Well, to be fair, that was because Sphinx ran off and healed her golem instead of healing Ra.
Sphinx would have had to have gotten into range with a large creature that could have easily reached her and taken her down.
Sphinx can heal from a distance. She has that ability.
He turns to Sphinx. Is this true?
Technically can grow my hair out and reach like 5 feet further. But that's about as far as I can really go.
I'll think on this. Give me a little while. Do as you will. We can leave if you'd like.
Will the golems reactivate if I try to investigate further, or are they pretty dismantled at this point?
I don't see them moving. They seem to be in pieces at this point. Stone doesn't typically hold itself together well.
I might try and drop the mithril chunk down into the lava and see.
No.
Sorry, I don't know what else to try. So I just want to see if it just goes away. Then whatever, it goes away. But, there has to be some way that the forge produces metal, and I almost wonder if it's just that simple. But
so can I get you to give me a knowledge or you got engineering or craft, or it's craft for you that you've got, right? Or do you have engineering?
I have both. Craft is way
okay.
higher,
Let's do craft. Okay, so typically, if you wanted to heat something up, you would use tongs. There are a set of tongs that are here, along with the hammer and a few other utensils that you would normally use for crafting, laid upon the anvil.
Okay. I guess I'll try grabbing the stone, the mithril chunk with the tongs then.
Okay. As you grab it, you can hear the lava below start to bubble up almost more rapidly. There's a bit more of a sound coming from below.
Can I use my knowledge engineering to help?
I
don't know if it matters.
He did a good enough check that he's got kind of a grasp on at least what you would do procedurally to do this.
Cool.
There's no more statues in the room, are there?
Nope.
All right, now we just have to be wary of the lava monster that's down there.
What?
In attempts to distract Tonelli from noticing any mithril. Tonelli, if you didn't notice, I went down there. I'm not feeling as strong as I used to. Can you do something about this?
You're injured?
Not on the surface, but I can feel my strength is much lower than it usually would be.
Yes, and unfortunately, I am low on the ability to resolve that right now.
Can't just pray to your god for some more. Which god do you serve anyway?
If I had time to rest, I certainly could.
Well,
which god do you praise, Tonelli? I never actually asked or wondered before.
Yes, you have not.
So which one is it? I thought Thought you,
God,
Claire.
why?
Thought you Claires couldn't shut up about your gods. You're keeping it very tight-lipped.
I don't think it's necessary for me to spend my time pushing religious ideologies on other people. I think what's more important is that I do what I'm to do. Duty is the most important thing.
I was trying to
Sounds
look
like a
for,
secret.
I was trying to look for a holy symbol that maybe he had one on him, and I'm like, you know what? Let me use my crit on that.
Yep. Yeah, you can see he does. He does have a holy symbol of the sun with the sword and shield.
Ah, no idea what that is.
Like on her.
Well, if everybody else is healed up, you know, I could use a few hit points myself.
Yeah, Spinks, do you have any healing left, or?
Yeah.
I can also throw out some healing if we'd rather use divine magic. That seems a little bit safer than the arcane. I mean, Sphinx did pretty good in that combat. I'm sure it would go fine, but it is a slight gamble, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just, I heard somebody mention a potential lava monster. I would like to be prepared in case of such a situation.
I am actually going to keep an eye on the lava, like, periodically.
Spinks or Raw, have you yet developed the ability to restore strength that was once lost?
You asked this last week, and we both said no.
Well, it's a new week now. Fool. Did you learn it or not?
What
are you doing?
7 days.
No. I told you, when we go back to town, I will get scrolls of such things.
Oh my god. What do I pay you people for?
You don't.
You don't.
Yes.
If anything, you take away from what we make.
Yes, everyone gets an equal cut, Cassius. That's how math works.
Yeah,
Sphinx, do you want to test
of
your
what is
healing and
left.
see how it goes, or do you want me to do what I can?
It would probably be safer for you to do what
Okay.
you can, at least to
No,
start
come
off
on.
with.
Let's have the arcane spellcaster use the cure spells in the high magic area.
All right. Well, I'll do as many as I can till I'm out of spell points, because I obviously do not have nearly as many as Sphinx does. But
Well,
so
whatever
who
that-
wants the first heal?
well, if nobody else wants it, I'll gladly take some. Unless you're
Yeah,
still...
Cassius had asked first, so.
All
Well,
right.
you asked a while ago, but...
Well, that one's going to Cassius. Are you good?
Oh, it rolled that 18?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. I'm pretty good.
All right. Next.
Still a little hurt, but I don't think I'll be one shot
20?
by anything.
Alright, yeah, I'm good then. Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
you
off by like
want-
5 hit points.
All right. Well, then we can just toss out some. So Zeke, I'll do that one for you, and
Awesome,
then
I'm at full.
Cassius, that one for you. Hopefully that puts you guys both near.
Much appreciated.
All right. Mal, you've got this chunk in the tongs.
So what does it look like as it is it so you say it heats up. Does it immediately start to turn liquid?
No,
Do I
the
feel like I
mithril
could-
hasn't heated up yet. The lava below has started heating up to almost like a heavy boil. If this were like a pot of water.
And does it look like as that's getting hotter that the chunk inside the tongs is getting hotter?
Not quite, but the air around you is getting hotter.
Okay. So if I sort of start holding the chunk out over the rim,
As you hold the chunk out over the rim, you see like a burst of lava kind of come up and start to kind of spiral around the chunk. And it starts taking the chunk. The tongs remain cool to the touch, but the chunk begins to rapidly start to glow.
You good, or?
Yeah, you guys don't have to stay for this. I may have to ponder this for a little bit, but once I'm gonna
Well,
taking out my spirit nipples.
it's of important note that in doing this, we all do need to wait here. I don't want to leave through the gate until you've completed your testing. especially after seeing these golems wake up and what you said about the shadows that came out of Aravos.
Very well. I'm like, can someone hold these tongs for a sec? I need to get undressed.
You don't want to have as much metal on you as possible as well while you get super hot?
Yeah, I have some fire resist, so I can help you out for a little bit.
Hand you the tongs for a second. How long does it take to undon medium armor?
5 minutes, I think it was. Maybe it was 2. I always get the 2 confused, and every edition has changed it slightly.
But you said if you had help, it could be
like
faster,
a minute, yeah.
Like a minute, yeah.
I go up to Ron and whisper, "Is this an orcish tradition? What is he doing?"
No, don't ask me.
Well, whatever is 2 to 5 minutes if we're not like under a major.
There's no stress, so you've got time.
I want to see if once I do that, if I apply this molten to like any type of metal like my armor, does it seem to just like naturally like cling to it in a way, or like how does it react?
So it seems to be more gel-like at this point, so you feel more like if you hammered it, it would move more smoothly wherever you put it. And then it doesn't seem like there's anything that's causing it to harden, though. It's still staying like in that sort of almost liquidy texture.
And what else is on the forge? There's tongs, the hammer, and is that it?
There's tongs, there's the hammer, there are some bellows, and there is, I forget all the, hold on, let me bring these up. I had them and I didn't think I would write them down because I figured I will remember what forge tools are. God damn it, what a shitty... So you have a set of, there is basically a set of shears that are there, and a, and like a series of like pinching tools. Like there's a couple of different specific ones to like get a handle to a specific like shape with a grip, or like, so there's a number of these like pinching kind of die-esque tools.
Okay. Well, I guess I'd even it out, the gel out with the hammer. If I don't have enough, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, arrows, got any more of that stone over there?"
How much do you need? What?
So are you trying to
dwarfish?
Are you trying to make a new suit of armor, or are you trying to?
No, I'm just trying to reinforce mine.
Okay.
And see if it has any like interactive properties or not. That's kind of like one of the things that Mal's been trying is to figure out, because golemium by itself doesn't seem to be very functional as armor. So I'm trying to find any other components that I could maybe add into the formula to make it more robust.
Take a look at something here.
So I will go up to Mal and I'll say, if I give you more, I expect my punishment to be less severe for bringing this.
we can talk about that later.
I hope you take it into consideration in your lecture, because if I had not had it, you would not be able to do this right now. Just keep that in mind. I want to stealthily try to draw the mithril from the bag.
Okay.
Hand it to Meldronicus as stealthily as I can.
Sure. Give me a sleight of hand check. Or a stealth check. Either one.
I would have preferred the stealth, but I clicked it as you said it, so it's fine.
Well, what's your stealth bonus?
It's 4 higher.
Okay. Yeah, it's still not a lot.
True.
Let me roll Tonelli's.
No!
I mean, that's who you're ultimately resisting.
No, he's trying to...
Now's the time.
That sounds like a Cassius perception.
Tonelli literally watches you do it and doesn't seem to care.
Tom, that's silly. Of course I have it so that it prompts me whether or not I want my rolls to be whispered on every roll.
I think every time, there should be like a macro. Every time Arvos clicks like a roll, Cassius automatically counter rolls it.
So I guess after I feel like, like I've done like a satisfactory job of sort of just covering like some new joints or whatever with it. Does just blowing on it do anything?
Okay, so blowing on it will not cool it off very quickly. That will
I
be
assume
the
there's
slowest
like a
way.
bellow or something.
There
right?
is. I said there's a bellows that you can pick
Bellows
up too.
make stuff hotter though. They don't cool stuff down.
I thought. Sure?
Am I misremembering the use of bellows?
I might be misremembering the use of bellows.
Yeah, I
so
thought that made it hotter.
I
thought it was
a
I thought it was a multi-use thing where you hook it up into the forge to make it hotter, or you unhook it. Well, I guess like you could just dip it in water or something.
Yeah, I've only seen uses where people dip it in water to cool things down. I don't know.
Maybe
that's just me watching random stuff. So.
Well, I can create some water if we have something to put it in.
Well, the bellows does create water, so.
Okay.
Hmm.
They're homebrewed bellows. If that is the case, I'll try and slowly drip the bellows over whatever pieces I've applied.
Okay. Yeah. This will. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second.
Arvos would make his way over to Ra eventually and whisper to her.
Yeah, you notice that this is easier to work with doing this, but you trying to figure out a way to sort of blend the golemium and the mithril is a lot harder than just layering another layer of mithril on top of it. So you're not quite getting the result you're after. If anything, now you have a heavier piece of golemium.
But at least it doesn't seem that there's anything automatically different about it. It just seems like a really efficient way to work metals, but it doesn't seem to like have any innately magical properties. Not that you can experience so far. You do feel like something is like you feel as you're working with this that something's kind of tapping into your innate magical ability. And you almost feel as though, like, you could probably make something on this forge better than you could normally. You could probably even make something on this forge that had magical power, even though you're not really sure exactly how to do that. Mm-hmm. The forge is kind of tapped in directly to your spell points, so you can feel, like, your magical energy kind of mingling with the magical energy of the forge. There's, like, a feeling of, like, your skin kind of being a little bit on edge, a little like pull at your chest, and it's on the air that you breathe. It's a very fancy forge, Tonelli. I don't know if it makes weapons that kill gods, but potentially, I guess I don't know. At least the short amount of time that I have, I think I would need more time with it.
Here's a thought. Perhaps if its function is to defeat gods, perhaps it hampers divine magic. And I'll look at Ra and Tonelli. Perhaps with the metal Mal is crafted, try casting through it, see if your spells are hampered. I think that would indicate it bestows some sort of divine influencing item.
A good thought, but that will turn out to not be the case. It does not resist divine magic.
Okay.
Well, I'm willing to take some time to work on it, but if that might be pretty boring for everybody else, should we, I guess, just leave it to the other team then?
Well, based on the room, would it maybe just amplify arcane magic in it?
To overcome a god? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if such a thing is possible.
Why don't the people with the appropriate knowledges give me a thought at that question?
Which
Yes,
knowledge
if
would you
you-
like?
That'd be knowledge
like to-
arcana. Not handle animal.
I don't have a knowledge.
How is that anywhere
close?
close to the appropriate knowledge?
I mean, it's about 3 off.
All right, so Aravos. Like, at first you're kind of thinking, like, well, that doesn't make sense. But then You do know that, like, some of the most powerful magical items would normally require incredible levels of understanding of how magic works and incredible levels of control over magic. And so if somebody was incredibly powerful and had an additional boost in their ability to do things, this could push them in a level of being able to make something that normal people might not be able to make. And if it's in an area where magic flows more excessively, they may be able to tap in arcane power that they might not be able to normally have access to. Spells that may no longer exist in the realm might be malleable in a place where magic is so free-flowing it can actually take control of the caster itself.
I think Zeke, I didn't know you were so knowledgeable in spells, but I think he was onto something. I think a powerful enough wizard could make use of this forge and potentially access spells outside the realm of possibility.
But what do you suggest a wizard would craft with this? Typically,
Well, I would like a boots of old haste, Arvos, if you could help out with that real quick.
I am quite condescending, but I'm not arrogant. I don't think myself powerful enough to create god-killing or spells that are outside of our understanding, at least not yet.
There it is.
I think one would need to reach the highest circle of spells before such a thing would be possible.
Well, no, that's what this allows you to do, right?
I think
Is
what
without
my knowledge was
reaching
pertaining.
the highest circles.
First of all, that's my knowledge. You don't know anything about that. Second of all, I believe what my studies have taught me is that in order to reach the other realm of spells, you have to have already mastered the spells existing in this world. Perhaps this forge would amplify me to get access to a ninth circle spell, but if I were to bend the rules, so to speak, I think I would have to have already reached that level myself.
You know that you can bend the rule. With your 33, though, you do also know that you can bend the rules with this much magic. You know there are consequences as well for bending those rules. Like, in a place like this, you can bend the rules a large number of ways, but it is a very dangerous endeavor to bend those rules if you are not careful.
But yes, if I were to try to do it now, I think it would be at great cost that I'm not prepared to pay.
Yeah, maybe are we able to come back when you're healthier, maybe?
I don't know. I look at Nelly. Is this a one-shot deal? Are we ever permitted to come back here?
That's going to depend on a conversation that I think we need to have. Mal, are you sufficiently sure you at least have a rudimentary understanding of this thing?
It seems to make sense. Like I said, it would take more time and potentially more casting. But it definitely is a fancy piece of machinery at minimum.
Well, this also has the reminiscence of a temple. And those statues seem to be statues to something abyssal. My thought is this might also function from a religious standpoint as something that you could pray to. Perhaps that could even further enhance the abilities. Look at the way the anvil is hanging. Centered in the room is the primary structure. It is basically upon a sloped podium, albeit one that is empty in the middle. And two statues are often what we would often place in the background to showcase the power that lies within. I know not what you would pray to here, but I imagine that it would not be to something that any of us would probably prefer to pray to.
Oh.
But it does look very altar-like.
Something like them statues?
Something that probably made a likeness to those statues.
And these things don't look anything like the stuff in the mountains that we just fought, right?
No.
Okay.
Did we all see that beam, or was that just Mal who saw that?
Just Mal. Mal was the only one who caught it as it was happening.
Okay.
I thought somebody else did too, but I know it wasn't me. That's for sure.
I think what's his name did.
Pretty sure Zeke did, but he was AFK at that point.
That could also be.
I think you're right.
Doing whatever, someone was stopping by and you had to do something, and because Mal and Zeke were the ones like guarding that side of the room, so I believe that the two of them saw it.
What does need to be talked about, though, is this group's organization and this group's stability. What I saw in that combat was a mess I would not expect from a team this experienced. And Cassius, don't shake your head. You're just as much responsible.
For getting rid of the problems? You're right.
Your paranoia is far more dangerous at times than the actions that I know you, Aravos, would be willing to take given the opportunities. Sphinx, if you did have the ability to save one of your comrades, choosing to save a non-sentient creature is obviously not the right choice.
Whoa. I think that thing is sentient.
He talks a little bit. He did talk to me, right?
I can program... I can use spells to make literally anything talk. Speak with animals is very simple. You can speak with constructs.
Then who says we're not all just living in some big spell then?
We're not here for a philosophical debate. The law states that Ra is a living person. And that is a giant pile of glass that moves and acts as you ask it to.
Well, I mean, Jack was in a coin once.
His soul was in a coin. You know what a soul is, right? The fundamental difference between living and non-living things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm guessing.
So Jack was not the coin. Jack was trapped in the coin. Is there a person trapped inside of that glass golem? If so, we better get to work on breaking them out.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have experience when people want to give us lectures, and I think Tonelli needs to talk uninterrupted.
Arvos, you were nodding just moments ago.
To be
Go
fair,
on,
I didn't
Tonelli,
start that.
my good man. Go on.
In your midst, you have a murderer. As much as you may not want to acknowledge that is, but you haven't seemed to have a problem with that. You seem to understand. And I don't think you were wrong implicitly for your choice. But I also think that it is something that must be kept in mind. I don't know how deep your hatred for these types of people goes, but we can't simply run around executing every last one of them if we have a chance not to. Cassius, stop shaking your goddamn head!
No, I was trying to figure out who you were talking about at first. My apologies.
Zeke is the murderer.
A lot of things.
The one who has legally been declared a murderer.
I mean, you know why I'm here, right?
We're all murderers, but yeah, I've legally been declared.
I take issue with that statement. I've murdered no.
You're right. From what I've heard, you're just an attempted murderer.
True. At least I haven't killed anyone. I don't think I even could.
I think that would require you to use anything offensive.
Exactly. Unlike you, I don't shoot people that are on my team.
And unlike you, I help people not die.
I do that as well.
What I'm left with is the fact that our two closest to put together people aren't that well put together, but they aren't even our people. Mal and Ra, you are members of the Crimson Council. And while you may be obligated to do as you're asked, it is also not your place to be directly entangled with all the things that are going on here. At such a point as the Crimson Council might disagree, you are gone. therein lies some issues and why things must be much better strung together between the 6 of you.
7?
The
Sorry, I was getting
golem,
corrected on.
the golem is not alive.
Sorry, I always get corrected on that when we say 6.
Your stubbornness will get you killed or sent to the labyrinth, or worse, scrubbing the horses. How would you feel? All of your talent wasted on making sure the horses are properly cleaned. Yeah, okay.
You want to get back to the point too, or?
It is.
Look, I'm sorry, I'm really stressed out.
Well, then I think it's time for what you really should be focused on, if that's the problem. You have all been working, and when you're not working, you're still basically working. We have given you time away from your responsibilities, and as I've heard it said, you are either manufacturing something new, or you are trying to work out your separate business endeavors, or trying to track down the next big problem. This needs to be brought to a temporary pause. I think that the 6 of you need to spend some time together, doing something that is not fighting everything and anything that comes between you.
Wait, am I supposed to fight or am I not supposed to fight?
For the next 2 weeks, you are not supposed to fight. You are on vacation. You are taking leave. We will allow you to go wherever it is you please. And you will be returned at the end of the 20 days. If after 20 days, you have not better found liking for each other, or at least learned how to be semi-cohesive, it will be my responsibility to disband the 6 of you. Your vacation can be whatever you want it to be, but it will be without my guidance. So, the question is, where would the 6 of you like to go? You all must agree, but you can go anywhere in the entire world. Well, except to Sierra Savant, of course.
I heard this really nice vacation spot named Steve No.
That place I know, and we're not going there.
Knowledge nobility to know like a really good spot?
It depends on what everybody would want to do as part of their time off.
Well, yeah, so this is for me, like, suggesting, like, I'm looking for, like, a really, like, fancy, relaxing spot.
Okay. Do you want it to be within the country or outside of the country? And it would be knowledge, it would actually be knowledge geography.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that.
Okay.
Haha.
Ugh.
That's where I'm a Viking. Just kidding, but I do. God blessed.
That's fantastic. That is fan-fucking-tastic, yeah.
Reading the
Perhaps
plains.
you know, Tonelli, but I'm trying to think of perhaps a calming location, perhaps by the ocean. The waters can be calming. They smooth even the roughest stones.
He'll take out a map, first of all, of RA4 and lay it down.
I'm going to match it up with mine.
Yep. Your map is actually more up to date than his.
I'll point it out to him if he's interested.
I guess I need to get mine updated.
Yeah, we've been traveling a bit.
So he will actually recommend, if you want something towards the water, he will recommend Ancora. Ancora is a quiet, barely city that still stands in alliance with the military. You'll be welcome there as the heroes you rightfully are. And you'll be given access to whatever it is, almost whatever it is that you want.
Are there beaches on the shore? Is it beach or is it...
There are indeed. It is a port with a wonderful stretch of beaches to the east and west of the ports.
Well, as we know, in every anime, we do have to have the beach episode, so that's what we're doing, right?
Sounds
what I
more
was
like a
going for.
beach season here.
I think the calming waters of the ocean in front of you can help. I think a nice beach atmosphere will be good for everyone.
I feel like this will probably frustrate Mal to no end. He looks to you, Mal.
The negotiations were going very well, Tonelli. They were going to accept.
Negotiations.
They won't accept it by you.
Negotiations aren't over.
Well, they were going to send word in a few days. How can they send word to me if I'm on the beach?
They don't send word to you. They will send their messengers to us. This has been the exchange for some time. You were the messengers this time. You did well in delivering the message. You are not responsible for everything, Maldronicus. That is why you have a team. And you took no responsibility in that combat, so I know you have the ability to take no responsibility. That is not the Maldronicus I remember first starting here, and I think the stress has finally broken you.
It's not that simple, Tonelli, but you're not in all these fights. You don't know what goes on.
You're right.
I have to keep
Go on.
I have to keep an eye on my back, Eros' back, everyone's backs, because they never know who's going to take shots at them.
Well, it sounds like you just took shots at somebody.
My job isn't to kill things. That's Zeke and Ra and Cassius do that quite well. My job is to keep my team alive. To do that, sometimes I have to keep an eye on places that other people are not. I let my zealotry get to me when I wanted to vanquish this body lift, and it almost got, no, not technically me, but technically me killed. I let my guard down for a few seconds, and someone took advantage of it. And I will never forget that.
This is what I mean by the stress has gotten to you. You put blame on yourself more than I think any person in this party does. I don't think a single one of these people blame you for the death of Aravos, or of Arius.
Whoa.
But you blame yourself, perpetually. Arius got himself killed. Not Maldronicus.
It was a simple thing. It's an augury. You use the augury. It's like...
Every commander makes a mistake. It is the mistakes we learn to live with that make us stronger, not the ones we allowed to destroy us. This, again, is why you need time off. Now I can force time off upon you if this is what you want to continue to push for. But it will mean that everyone here will need to find new things to do. But I'm sure the council would be happy to have you there.
Tonelli. I don't even know where my home is. I don't know anything about these things. I've never had a home, so I don't know how to relax.
Well, let your friend show you how.
Oh, in my defense, I grew up in Krux, so I'm not sure how to relax too well either.
You were permanently relaxed.
That's like that forced vacation you were talking about.
Is there anywhere we could go that would be shielded from those with abilities such as Heracles? Not Heracles in this case, but something does approach me.
The world is a dangerous place, and unfortunately, aside from sending you to the one place I can't send you to, everywhere else you can be found. By someone.
Well, at least send me as far west as you can, for the time being.
Then it sounds like so far we have 2 votes for Ancora. Anyone else wish to enjoy the beaches?
What do you do on a beach?
You relax. You stop thinking about work.
I'm okay with the beach. I've never been there. It would be a new experience. I'm all right with trying that.
I believe what Cassius is wondering is what sort of drinks they have there.
Whatever you want.
They have drinks on the beach?
Of course. What is a beach without a drink?
What is a beach? Was it like sand, right? There's just a bunch of sand there?
Sand and water. You might like it. Sounds like we're at 4-2. I would say that the way things are run, this seems to be a relatively group-based decision-making process where the majority wins. Have I understood all of this correctly between you?
That is correct. On things like this, we always vote together.
Good.
If we're going to the beach, I need a beer.
I didn't realize Mal was carrying around a 6-pack. All right. So, Tonelli will guide the 6 of you, or technically the 7 of you, through the ethereal plane. As he walks you into the gate, you can feel the air changes. Your bodies feel odd. Your physical forms moving into a realm that is not meant for them. You can see, Cassius, as you move in, there are like routes that are enshrouded with thin layers of some sort of energy-like substance running into various different places. Specifically, though, he will take you to a gate that will empty you out into the camp. But he will, he'll specifically direct, why do I keep forgetting this dude's name? He'll specifically direct Clemens down to another nearby gate.
I'm just wondering, Spinks, do you see any ghosts in here?
If you can, I can check.
We're following these like paths that I see, right?
Yes.
We're following one of them? Okay.
So as you look about here, you can see that there are what you know to be the remnants of souls that are in passage to the afterlife, to whatever it may be, wherever it may be that they end up. But you don't see anything specific, not like the spirits you have roaming about you.
So sort of.
Yeah. And you will return to the camp. All right. But tomorrow morning, I will have somebody send you back to Ancora. Or send you to Ancora. We have a number of spellcasters that should be able to get you there pretty quickly. I'll send word for them. They'll be here in the morning. They'll get you there. They'll get themselves back. Understand, I'm not telling you that if what you really want to do is find problems and fight them, that you can't do that. What I am telling you is it's on your time. If that's your means of enjoyment, that's your means of enjoyment. But if you come back here and you seem exhausted, stressed out at each other, and violent, I will have to bring this to an end. Come back better. That is my only order. Are there any questions?
I do not have any.
Cool. Well, then you all can rest here for the evening. And after this break, it will be the next morning, and we will see how vacation starts in Ancora. We will see you guys in a little bit.